course, all the people who've been so worried about doing things and what's getting into a tiz. And it's called Don't Give Up by Pam Davis. I'm going to keep that over now.
What do you say?
Yeah. I had a funny sort of start back when I was young. I had a funny sort of eye that shunned the other one. It wandered sort of up on its own, and sometimes, I suppose, it wandered toward the other one and met it at the nose. Oh, they said, you've got a squint. We've just the thing for you. And they gave me small round glasses that had small round lenses too. Then they took some plaster and they stuck it on the lens. I knew it wouldn't be the key to making lots of friends. But they hadn't finished yet. They looked upon my feet. They noted that where they joined my legs, they weren't exactly neat. Then they said, you need a boot. Your leg will be much straighter. I knew where I'd like to place the boot, but I thought I'd tell them later. So now I'm Quasimodo, with a boot and glasses both. Not much chance of Prince Charming might be plighting me his troth. But I soldiered on and formed affinities, of course. Not with the other children, but more with the milkman's horse. Then one happy day, the glasses up and disappeared. Life was not as fruitless as it once had seemed appeared. Followed shortly by the boot, now things were looking up. Something runneth over, and it just might be my coat. The eyes had formed a friendship, and the feet were cosy too. The glasses found a dustbin, and the foot had found a shoe. I have found Prince Charming, so it only goes to show, no matter how bad things appear, you really never know. When I was looking for something to do, I thought, well, perhaps we ought to go a little bit upmarket. Oh, I'm going to fall, it's going to fall down.
Oh, you're proper, Christine, you're proper.
These technical things always outwit me. So I had a look, and me being me, we got as far as almost Shakespeare. And this is a word to conjure with when you've had a drink or two. This is a soliloquy by Shakespeare's cat. To go outside and there perchance to stay, or to remain within, that is the question. Well, it is better for a cat to suffer the cuffs and buffets of inclement weather that nature rains on those who roam abroad, or take a nap upon a scrap of carpet, and by so dozing melt solid hours that clog the clock's bright gears with sullen time, and store the dinner bell. To sit, to stare outdoors, and by a stare to seem to stay to wish to venture forth without delay. Then when the portals opened up, to stand as if transfixed by doubt, to prowl, to sleep, to choose not knowing when we may once more our readmittance gain. Aye, there's the hairball. For if a paw was shaped to turn a knob, or work a lock, or slip a window catch, and going out and coming in were made as simple as the breaking of a bowl, what cat would bear the household's petty plays, the cook's well-practised kicks, the butler's broom, the infant's careless pokes, the tickled ears, the trampled tail, and all the daily shocks that fur his heir to, when, of his own free will, he might his exodus and entrance made, with a mere mitten? Who would spaniels fear, or strays trespassing from a neighbour's yard, but that the dread of our unheeded cries and scratches at a barricaded door, no claw can open, dispels our nerves and makes us rather our human faults, than run away to unguessed miseries? This caution does make house cats of us all, and thus the bristling hair of resolution is softened up with the pale brush of thought, and since our choices hang on weighty things, we pause upon the threshold of decision. Once a little bit more serious. It's what's called Values, and it's written by somebody you might have heard of. Nosmo King was one of the writers of this, and it was written in 1948. The world is full of sons of discontent, wealth without work, their futile feverish bent, fortune by lucky chance the chains of toll to sever, heedless of primal law by sweet and stern endeavour. The task takes second place, the pay is all that matters, the dream of easy cash their resolution scatters. Less hours of work, more uneasy leisure, pursuing joylessly the costly myth of pleasure. What part have I in all this quest, where only that which costs the most is best, where values are in glitter and display, where men are judged by what they have to pay? There's so much more in life than this to me, so many precious gifts completely free. God's bounty which he lavishly bestows, who really knows true worth when only money knows? The rippling moonlight in woodland pond, the dimpled laughing infant at the school, the long cool shadows where the elm trees stand, the swelling bosom of this lovely land, prostrate cascading roses on a garden arch, the ancient wall that saw the legions march, the smell of wood smoke in the evening breeze, the cawing of rooks amongst the distant trees, a hand clasp with a comrade of the past, renewing bonds that will forever last, the song of birds at closing of the day, the fragrant perfume of the new mown hay, the sweetness that the walls of home provide, your children and a good man at your side, the summer sun, the moon and stars that shine. What need have I of greater wealth? And seeing as it's Saturday and we all miss your football matches, I thought I'd do this one, which is called Goalkeeper Joe by Mariette Edgar. Joe Dunn was a bobby for football. He gave all his time to that sport. He played for the West Wigan Whippets on days when they turned out one short. He'd been a member of the club for 3 seasons and grumbled again and again because he found the only time they used him was when it was pouring with rain. He felt that his talents were wasted when each week his job seemed to be naught but minding the clothes for the others and chucking clods at the referee. So next time selection committee came round to ask for his sub, he told them if they didn't play him, he'd transfer to some other club. Committee they coaxed and they cajoled him, but found he had none of their shifts. So they promised to play him next weekend in a match against Toglerton Swifts. This match was the club of the season, an annual fixture it stood, for reckoned as good as a cup tie by them that was like plenty of blood. The day of the match dawned in splendour, a beautiful morning it were, with a fog drifting up from the brickworks and a drizzle of rain in the air. The Whippets made Joe their goalkeeper, a thing as weren't needed at all, for they knew once that battle had started, they'd have no time to mess with the ball. Joe stood by the goalposts and shivered, while fog round his legs seemed to creep, till feeling neglected and lonely, he leaned back and went fast asleep. He dreamed he was playing at Wembley, and the roar of thundering cheer, he was kicking a goal for the Whippets when he woke with a clod in his ear. He found 'twas a ball that had struck him, and inside the net there it lay. There's no one had seen this here happen, he punted it back into play. For a first ball he punted in anger, his feelings he couldn't restrain. Forgetting as he were goalkeeper, he ran out and kicked it again. Then after the ball like a rabbit, he rushed down the field full of pride. He reckoned if nobody stopped him, then he'd score for his side. Halfway down he bumped into his captain, who weren't going to let him go by. But Joe, like Horatio Nelson, put a fist to the captain's blind eye. On he went till the goal lay before him, then stopping to get himself set, he steadied the ball, then he kicked it, and landed it right in the net. The fox seemed to lift at that moment, and all eyes were turned on the lad. The whippets seemed kind of dumbfounded, while the Swifts started cheering like mad. 'Twas his own goal he'd kicked the ball through. He'd scored for his foes against his friends, for it slept through the half-time whistle, and hadn't bothered to change ends. George was transferred from the West Wigan Whippets to the Tomberton Swifts, where you'll see, still minding the close for the others and chucking clods at the referee. I did find a nice little joke in here, which I thought was quite appropriate. Did I find it? I think I remember it anyway. This little old Yorkshire bloke went to the doctors and got a bit of bad news. He went home and opens the front door, shouts to his wife, and she's upstairs. He says, "Hey, missus, doctor says I'm to have appendicitis." And there's a big rattle in the bang upstairs. She comes to the top of the stairs, arms akimbo, and says, "These having dogs till I get me new hat."
The Yorkshire man over there didn't get that, Christine.
Your jokes from that man.
Thank you, Christine. Big hand for Christine. Now we're going to have a break, just for 15 minutes. We're cutting them down for 5 minutes because we've got a little bit extra to get in.